Hey, what do you say? What do you know? What are you doing? Old school saying here. I want to talk to you a little bit today about the lightweight division, most exciting division in boxing right now. Really excited about what I think this division can bring for us over the next few years. A few fights over the past couple of weekends I'm really excited about. Number one, let's start with obviously, two top guys in the division. Well, one guy who's a top guy now, George Kambosos, who did a great job in taking down Teofimo Lopez. I thought he completely outfought him every phase of the game, outpowered him, outboxed him, beat him to the punch consistently from the beginning of the fight to the end of the fight. Just thought he just did a tremendous job. I thought what happened at the end of the fight, when the fight was over, what the behavior of Teofimo and his father, well, I thought it was kind of disgraceful. First of all, interrupting the post-fight interview. And then the nonsense, the delusional nonsense about winning 9 rounds, winning 10-2. It was just a bunch of crazy nonsense. The fight was I had Kambosos winning by four rounds, and I could have done more. It could have been worse. Thought I'd give Teofimo the benefit of the doubt in a couple of rounds. Now, this thing, you never want to knock a guy, especially a father. But I think, if Teofimo is going to get back on the horse and be as good as he's capable of being, he's got to think seriously about getting rid of his father. I hate even using that term, getting rid of his father. But, having to sit down with his dad and say, actually his father should do it. His father should initiate it. He should realize that at this point in his career, it's best if he stepped back. And I would hope that he would sit down with his son and say, son, we need to take you another step. I got you this far. Now we're going to bring somebody else in. I'm going to stay involved. I'll be the second or the third man in the corner. I'll advise and whatnot, but we're going to have somebody else guide you, because the old man did a nice job, obviously, bringing him up. He's gotten him this far. But it's very, very clear from an emotional and professional standpoint that he's not good for Teofimo. Teofimo's a good kid. And sometimes I almost get the sense it's like, the nonsense that comes out of his mouth, that it's really not him. I get the impression he's a good, humble kid. And I think his father hypes him up more than anything. And you think it would be the other way around, you know what I mean? Where you got a young kid coming up and he's going to be a little brash, and the father would turn around and kind of hold the kid back a little bit. Say, listen, relax, But it looks like it's the other way around. And I think he really should take a step back. I hope it happens that way, where the father initiates it, rather than having it, have it continue this way, because eventually what's going to happen, they're going to split, and there's going to be a loss in the relationship, and that's tragic. I've seen it happen over and over and over again in athletics. Spent many, many years coaching, and it's just something that I hope the old man is mature enough to take care of. Anyway, those two guys, you got Kambosos now that's holding the 4 belts. Now it's his to lose. Teofimo supposedly had an issue with air, I guess, outside the lungs. Did it have an impact on the fight? You think something like that would, but you know what? It is what it is. You lost the fight, and it is what it is. Now you got to come back. That's the bottom line. But the division, like I said, is packed, man. It's packed. You got Shakur Stevenson, who's a junior lightweight right now, who's definitely going to move into the lightweight division, because that's where the cash is going to be. Tremendously talented kid. You got Tank Davis, who's got that combination of speed and power, which is kind of a rarity. Usually, you either have the speed or you have the power. Putting them both together with some good boxing ability is going to be a very tough guy to beat. I think he's getting a little bit hyped because of the Mayweather camp. I think he's really good. I think the fight that he fought this last weekend, I thought he showed some holes in his game. I don't think he's going to be able to compete at this point. He's ready for a guy like Lomachenko, who I'm going to talk about in a couple of minutes. I think he's not ready for that, but he's definitely a kid with a lot of potential. And then you got Ryan, you got Ryan Garcia, who may be, he may be the best he may be the best one out there. He's got that size. He's 5'10", 135 pounds. Punch read a hand, got a really good jab, good boxing ability, but he's young. I'm very impressed with what he did with Luke Campbell, being able to take a big, strong veteran guy like that apart the way he did. He got caught, got knocked on his ass, got back up, which is a good sign. I didn't get the impression that he's lacking in the chin. Everybody gets knocked out. You get hit in the chin, you're going down. The thing with him is that he's got to maintain focus. From what I understand, he's a kid he's into the YouTube thing and the whole bit. He's got to get himself focused and really dedicate himself to the game. I'm sure he'll do that. I think in the long run, he may be the guy. He may be the guy to really contend with in that division if he can stay at that weight, because he's a big kid. Like I said, he's like 5'10". So we'll see what happens there. But I really, really like the kid. But at this point, from what I saw the other night, Lomachenko, I'm telling you, man, I don't think there's anybody up there who's going to beat him right now. I think he would beat Lopez again if they fought. I think he would dismantle Lopez. I think the other guys are just not mature enough. Their game isn't well-rounded enough yet to be able to beat a guy like Lomachenko. Everything is timing in life, and this here in the lightweight division over the next couple of years is all timing also. Lomachenko is 33 years old, so he's peaked. Is he a little beyond the peak? Is he? Here's the top of the mountain. Is he here? Is he here? How long is it going to be before he's here? You don't know. You don't know the answers to these questions in the boxing game. In the heavyweight division, the heavier divisions, especially the heavyweight division, if you lose a little bit of your speed and your quickness and you're a guy who's got power, that power carries over to you, 37, 38. You could fight later, at a higher age, because your power is going to carry over. And you know what? Weight isn't a huge thing. If you're naturally a 230-pound guy, okay, and now you're 36, 37 years old, 35, 36, 37. You put on another 10 pounds, you can carry it if you train the right way. It's not a big deal. You can't do that in the lighter weights. It's a question of really, where does Lomo have 1 year left? Does he have 2 years left? Because he's got a lot of big fights potential coming up. Obviously, the first one he wants to do is he wants to get Kambosos in the ring. I think he beats Kambosos because he's better at him than is impressed as I was with George. I think Lomo's just got him in every facet of the game. He's got more power, more speed, better body puncher, better footwork. I'm not sure that fight would be too exciting. I think it would be two guys. I like the fight like the other night. Comey was a guy I think was made for Lomachenko. And it's power against speed and craftiness. It was an interesting dynamic. I don't think you'll get that with the Lomo Kambosos fight. But anyway, I think Lomo is still the cream of the crop. I think he proved it the other night. He's still got the speed, still got the power. He's craftier. He's craftier than I've seen him in the past. One of the things that Comey was saying was he was amazed that 1 minute the guy's there to hit, and the next minute he's not there, and you don't know where he is, and you'll wind up getting popped with shots because he's escaped out the back door, and he's in a position to hit you with shots that you don't see. So I think he's still clearly the guy who's at the top of the game. So I got Lomachenko on top. I think Garcia is probably the guy, the future. Tank Davis, you never know with Tank though. Tank could be in there also. That's what makes this so intriguing. I'd like to see in the future, maybe 2 years, 3 years from now, if Garcia stays in that division, he fights Tank. If Tank's in that division, or even if both of them move up to 140, you got a long, lean guy who's got power and boxing ability, and then you got a guy who's shorter, squatter, who's got quick hands and tremendous power in both hands. That's like an Ali Frazier fight. I mean, that's a great fight. So I think the lightweight division is hands down the best division in boxing right now. Really, really excited about what's going to happen over the next couple of years. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit pound for pound. Right now, pound for pound, I'm going with my man Terence Crawford. The guy is just he's a throwback fighter. He's got all the tools. He can punch with either hand. He goes to the body well. He throws tremendous combinations. He's a really good defensive fighter, and I think he's one of the smartest. Maybe him and Lomachenko, the two smartest guys out there. Love the way Terence kind of just takes you apart. Takes his time, knows exactly when to go to work on you. The fight with Sean Porter was a prime example of that. He was in control the entire fight, even though in earlier rounds it looked like it was a relatively close fight, but you could just see it. You can just see that that Crawford was just sizing him up, just waiting for the right opportunity to take advantage. And when the opportunity came, he put Porter away. And Porter's a tough guy. I love that kid. I love him as a kid. I think he's a fantastic kid. And I love what his father did. When you want to kind of contrast what Teofimo did, Teofimo's dad and his dad. I mean, I thought that was just a beautiful thing. I almost cried at the end of that fight because he knew his son wasn't going to win that fight, and he cared more love what he said after the fight. He cared more about being able to go across the street and hang out with his son and his grandchildren than he did about the fight. That's a father. That's a guy who's really got things in perspective. Really, really impressed. And it's no wonder he created a great kid. So there's no surprises about why Sean Porter is such a great kid. But anyway, pound for pound, I got Terence Crawford number one. I got number two was kind of tough. It was kind of a toss up with Canelo and Lomo. And you would say Lomo lost the title. He's got no belts right now. I don't care. I go by my eyes. I go by the fighter that I'm looking at. But I got to give Canelo the edge here. Again, I'm not contradicting myself here, but all things equal, I got to take a look and say, okay, he's got the title. He's been moving up, fighting heavier guys and whatnot, showing some real greatness. And then I got Lomo number three. Lomo number three because of what he brings to the table, the fact that he's still at the near peak, if not peak of his game at the age of 33. What he did the other night. So I got him number three. I think if he moves on now to beat Kambosos, and then he fights a couple of these other guys, I think and beats them. That he's obviously the pound for pound guy, top pound for pound guy in the world. But again, it's a matter where he is on that mountain. Where is he? Is Lomo at the peak? Where is he? We don't know where he is. So we'll find out within the next year or two. But it's going to be exciting. Really excited about this lightweight division and what's going to happen over the next few years. So anyway, that's my take. I thought I'd reach out and let you know what's going on. Now listen, you disagree? Hey, do what you did with the Marciano thing. A lot of you out there really had a lot of people who agreed, a lot of people who had real problems with what I had to say about my man Rocky Marciano. And you came at me and I came back at you. And a couple of you sucking me in because I probably went back and forth with you a little bit longer than I should, but that's my nature. I'm a fighter by nature. Can't help it. Okay, so if you got comments, feel free to leave them. Anyway, it's December 13th right now, close to Christmas. For all of you out there that celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. You and your family, everyone else as well. I hope everything is all good and you stay healthy and everything is good and we get through this COVID thing. We get back, we get back to normal someday. So anyway, old school saying here, wishing you all the best. And remember what I tell you every time: you get knocked down, you get hit with a shot. Even if you just get buckled and you don't go down, you get yourself back up and get yourself back, back in the game, because life is tough. You're going to take all kinds of shots. And you just got to keep on fighting. You got no choice, so you might as well do it. Anyway, peace out. Love you all. Talk to you soon. Leave them comments.